Blink. Thank you. All right. I need to share the link. I need to get a light. I'm going to have a feeling that this is going to be an every morning thing. Every time I run late, I got to go make my coffee. And then I got to get set up. And I got to do all these things while I'm live because I try not to be late. And I trip over my kids' toys. Oop. Sorry. Kimmy! Good morning, Kimmy. I saw your comment yesterday. I'm so sorry you missed me. I don't know why YouTube didn't just show you where I was. I gotta, hang on. I promote you too. There we go. I think I got everyone promoted, right? All the regulars anyway. Help control the chats. Keep the trolls at bay. Although at least yesterday's troll was like, I don't know what was up with yesterday's troll. Wasn't being malicious. Cat. Hi, yeah, you. Can you move? You gonna make me try to move you? I'm gonna sit on you first, because, how is everyone so far? Yeah, I figured that would annoy you. Sit on my cat. I didn't sit on my cat. I did, however, nudge her back with my butt. Like, this is nice spamming. That's a good way of putting it. Come here. Void Floof is not happy that I'm taking my chair back. It was compliment spamming. It was weird. I still called it a troll though, because it was unnecessarily distracting. I don't know if that counts as trolling, but it was definitely not trying to be a part of the conversation. I hope y'all wanted to see my cat's butt. All right, yeah, butt down. Thank you. Oof, I need more coffee. A troll by any other name. Still kind of trolling. She was just more of like a, what's her name? Poppy. Than like the troll under the drawbridge. Is that? I forgot the charger. Oh, but I can reach it even though my cat is in my way. I wouldn't say that, but saying it over and over again was a bit much. Once or twice, fine, but more than like 4 is excessive. Yeah, it was excessive. And back to back to back to back. It wasn't like there were pauses or I hadn't addressed her comment or their comment. Like, I had responded. So, I don't know. Anyway, what are we doing today? Oh, I gotta share the link. I almost forgot. Actually, I did forget. You have a question, very important. All right, I'm working on typing up some plot holes. Oh, tying up some plot holes. I was like, okay, cool. What is your question? I have a slow computer today. Very important question. Usually, when I say I have a very important question, it's followed up with, do you like tacos? Or something like that. So just know that that's what I am expecting from you at this point. Good morning. The good thing about the move to YouTube, I can watch this later since I'm in the office on Wednesdays. That I was thinking about that too, because TikTok does allow me to save my lives. And a couple, like when that feature first came out, it was a couple of years ago, right? I want to say it was like the very beginning of 2021, somewhere in there, I think. And for a few weeks, that's what I was doing. I was like, oh, I'll download my lives and then I can share them or repurpose them or whatever, put them into the writing groups. And I did it for like a couple of days, but it was like, it took me an hour to do that. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't keep up. It's just too much. Like, and then it started like taking up all of my phone space. I was like, oh man. But the move to YouTube means that just happens. You can like pop in and watch the live and feel like you're live. Except that I won't be able to say hi to you. Well, I mean, some of my favorites who always come in, I'll say hi to anyway. Hi, Alex. But like, you can still watch and maybe feel like the community is here talking around you while you're writing or something. And, or you might catch like the answers to other people's questions. You are here. Oh, you are here. Well, I can't say hi to you now. Hi, Connie. How long is too long to have an inciting incident happen? I'm planning on having it in chapter 6 or 7. Would that be too long? Hello, Seisha. So the inciting incident itself is bam. It's the spark. So you can have whatever happens leading up to it be just fine. Your setup, your theme, the introducing some of the characters, all of those things. Those can take a while. The inciting incident itself is like one scene. It's fast, it's quick. It's like the explosion that takes everyone out. It's in Star Wars, it's when Luke gets back home after getting the androids and getting R2-D2 over to old Ben Kenobi and all that, and then gets home to realize that his aunt and uncle have been murdered. That's bam, fast. Does that make sense? You can have all the lead up you want in the world up to that point, but that's like glass shattering, illusion over, you gotta go. Have a meeting at 30. Figured you would pop in. Woohoo! $1,600 words away from 50,000. Well, you go, Alexandra. Jealous. Don't be jealous. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, good. Seisha, you are right where you need to be, especially considering you were sick for 2 weeks. Alex, on the other hand, still has 324 works in progress to go. So she needs to be 1,600 words away from 50,000. Stretch goals, 110. Well, by next week, it'll be like 198. Stretch goals put you at 156. Nice. I still can't believe that you only started writing in earnest like 2 years ago, right? 2.5 years ago? Like before that, you had ideas and you had, the inclination and it was something you wanted to do, but like you only started like sitting down and going, I'm going to start pumping out stories like 2 years ago. Hello, Jade. How are you? And Soulless 2 comes out in 9 days. Yay! I'm so proud of you. Good. How are you? I'm doing great. Thank you. Hi. If you're going to lick yourself with your cat food breath, can you lick yourself that way? 5 books in 12 months. I know. You are powering through these. All right. Everyone say goodbye to Void Floof because she won't stop licking herself. And all I smell is cat food right now. And she's got to go lick herself somewhere else. Oh, look at how content she is. She's all, I'll just sit here. Yeah. Of course, she looks content up here, but her tail is wagging like she is annoyed. All right, go lick yourself. February book is done too. I'm so ready for the break. Yes. Missy, hello. How are you getting on with Nano? I'm doing really good. I'm not as good as some. Not as far ahead as Alex, but I'm happy with my progress. I'm at about 18,000 right now. This is the first week back at work after my surgery. How are you feeling? Schedule has been thrown off? I bet. Alex is superhuman. This is true. Very true. I overdid it yesterday, so I'm taking it easy today. Gonna cut loose early and write. 3,200 words. 3,200 words is good. It's fine. Love the mug. Thank you. I saw, you know what I did? I saw some photo with this mug like first with this meme and then with a mug, but I couldn't find it for sale anymore. So I went over to Zazzle and I made it. So I can't sell it because it's not my meme. And I don't know whose it is to get permission to like put it on a mug and actually sell them for profit. But I was like, I want the mug and I can't find where I can buy it. So I'm going to make my own copy. Oh yeah, 3,200 words. Yes, better than a blank page. And like surgery last week. I don't think I have to say anything else, right? Like you are writing under very different circumstances than the rest of us are writing. What I would say is you're sitting at 3,200 words, and I don't have my calculator in front of me because y'all are sitting on my calculator. But you know, 46.8. Today's the 8th divided by 22. 2,100 words a day catches you up. That's not unreasonable. And you've had bigger days than that, right? So you are not that far off. You're really not. Oh, and you only wanted 20K. That's even better. I was basing it on the 50. It's 763 words a day. Not even 1,000 words. And you're completely caught up. You're in a really good spot, especially if you're feeling better after surgery. You're right there. You do not have to worry. And you definitely shouldn't be hard on yourself. You definitely shouldn't be like, oh, this sucks. It's 3,200 words. That's more than a lot of other people have. And this is also why in the Discord, we go by our, like, we use the month because discounts and extra writing motivation and extra support and pep talks and all that stuff, in-person writing events in your local area, stuff like that. But we set up our own word count goals. We set up our own strategy goals and all of that because the 50,000 is just arbitrary. Feeling a tad bit frazzled. Well, I'm glad you're not feeling frazzled anymore. Definitely take it easier today, though. No more pushing too hard right after surgery. I learned that the hard way. Like, I'm not just being like cranky old person mom. I can if you want me to, but I'm not. But I learned the hard way. When they tell you to take it easy after surgery, take it easy after surgery. You were stressing me out. I was sure that 50K wasn't your goal. I think even if it were 50K though, like I was trying to show that it's still not out of reach. See, a lot of people, one of the things with, did you miss it? I don't think so. Hi, Topaz. One of the things that I think happens with a lot of NaNoWriMo is people go, okay, 1,667 words a day. And then they miss a day and they think, I have to write 3,200 words tomorrow in order to catch back up, right? Never mind. It was my phone being stupid. Oh, okay. My phone is often stupid, so I totally get it. But then if they miss 2 days, then the next day, the third day, they're only 3 days in and they're feeling like they're 6,000 words behind, right? Or whatever, 3,200, like they're like, oh, now I gotta write 5,000 words in order to get caught back up. But you don't have to do that. You can just split the 1667 through the rest of the days. So instead of going, oh my God, I have to write 10,000 words in order to be caught up and I'm only 4 days in, you're just going, I just got to add an extra 150 words to my daily count anyway. It's a lot less overwhelming. A lot less? Yeah, a lot less. Beginning of chapters always gets me. Same. I skip them half the time. I don't skip them. Obviously, the chapter is still there. But, like, I save the transition work for editing because they always get changed. So I just dig into the chapter as I'm writing. What happens in this chapter? Start writing. When I go in for editing, then I'm looking for the micro cliffhanger at the end of whatever chapter, and then the transition and the hook into the next chapter. I just find it easier to do it that way than to try to write them on demand. It stresses me out when people start panicking about this. This is not a world event. It stresses you out when people panic about NaNoWriMo. I wouldn't say it stresses me out. I totally get it. There's something deeply personal when you're hanging out with a bunch of writers and they all seem to be reaching a goal that you feel you should be able to reach and you're not for some reason. You start to feel inadequate. It starts to feel like a big personal slight against yourself. And you start feeling like you're not good enough to hang out with the people you want to hang out with. So I get it. It's like a dig at your own personal identity. Something is, you feel like, no, nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Good morning, Sabrina. No, when other people are stressing out, they're not stressing out because you're writing so many more words than they are. They're not stressing out because there's something wrong with you. They're stressing out because they feel like there's something wrong with them, that they're not able to keep up with you. Alex, you are just fine. Don't ever change. I sometimes pick a little bit about your works in progress, but that is only in fun because you get so many, like, I could say a sentence and you'll have 3 new works in progress within a day and a half. I find that amazing. I can't do that. But there is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with hitting thousands of words in a day. There's nothing wrong with being proud of that. If I hit that number of words in a single project, because like yesterday, I wrote 17,000 words yesterday, just not in my book. Do you know what I mean? If I could put those words in my book, I'd be on cloud nine. You're getting them in your book. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. If I hit 20K this month, I will be happy. That's double what I originally had. Nice, Alex. Good job. Jessica, oh no, Alex, I think you write. How you write is incredible. I finished Nano last year, but I don't know about this year. My brain just doesn't want to type. Too many family issues. And you know what? Sometimes your brain just isn't going to do it. That's totally fine. Give your brain the rest. Take the rest. Just be like, you know what? I don't have to do it this year. You can still hang out with all of us. It's what works for you. Look at how much you're achieving, right? And a lot of the group looks up to you, Alex. Like, they look up and see something to aspire to. Like, I wish I could sit down and write like that. I wish the ideas would come to me like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I wrote 19,000 yesterday and didn't know until I did the math at the end of the day. See, I think that's amazing. You sit down, you write, and then at the end of the day, you're like, oh, dang. For some people, though, if they sit down and they said, okay, I'm going to write 19,000 words today, then they panic and they get 50 words in and then they feel like a failure. My muse comes by at the most inconvenient times. Same. Same. That's why I had to start, like, setting up my writing space and my writing routine and stuff so that I could train my muse to come when I call, like, kind of the dogs and the whistle. I am willing to help people talk through stories. 19,000 would take me 3 days minimum with no sleep. I think of so many scenarios and conversations. Then by the time I can write or type it down, it's gone. Like dreaming, yeah. She has to take a vacation. She's making up for the 30 years, right? She's like, oh, I'm back. Meds put you to bed. That's hard. Kimmy, do you have a voice recorder on your phone? Like a memo recorder or Google Docs or something like that? My muse gets bored too easily. That's my problem. I get 30,000 in and lose my passion for the story. Missy, have you tried doing a fast draft? Or do you try to add, like, have you tried doing like a skeletal draft? Like, oh, I've got this idea for a story and trying to get the story written in those 30,000 words without the details, without worrying about like certain transitions and stuff, but just like, bam, get from beginning to end. And then you can always go back and edit and add in all the stuff and blow it up to a full book. Is it bad that I feel like my stories suck and I'm scared to ask for help because trash heap? Is that bad? No, it's yes and no. I don't want you to feel bad. I don't think that that is necessarily healthy, but a lot of people do. And so, like, if by bad you mean, like, is it good for you? I'm going to say no, it's not good for you. If by bad do you mean, like, it's abnormal and you're weird? I'm going to say no, that's a perfectly valid struggle that a lot of people are working through all the time. So it's fine. You feel like your stories suck? They probably don't. Can I just say Sharknado? Also, y'all, hang on. Where are they? I need to clean this up. I have, like, such a mess up here right now. Here they are. Okay. I got, what is this? Oh, pens! Someone sent me pens. And earbuds. Diamond painting stickers. Becca's new book. Japanese candy. Like, seriously, Naomi. Oh my god. Alright, hang on. I found my thwackers. You ready? You can, if anyone had ever told me, if anyone had come to me in 2020, when was this? The summer of 2020, right? The summer of 2020. So the pandemic was like 3 months old. No one knew what was happening yet. There was no vaccine yet. Certain factions were blowing up and crying about having to wear a face mask. Like, and we were all just kind of like in this state of bewildered puzzlement. And no one knew what was going on. And we were all kind of like, what does this mean for work? What does this mean for job? How do we pay the bills, right? And then this woman comes out with 2 books all of a sudden. I have not read these. I cannot attest to how good they are. No idea. Kissing the Coronavirus. And Kissing the Coronavirus 2. This one came out a few months later. This one was like fall. Anyway, someone told me about this book and I was like, you're lying. And I went and I looked and there were like hundreds of reviews. And I was like, what? Because if this woman had come to me, MJ Edwards, had come to me and said, hey, I'm thinking about writing a book about a scientist who's supposed to be working on a vaccine for this like deadly virus, but instead she falls in love with the virus, I'd have been like, have you fallen on your head? What? That does not even sound like a halfway decent story idea to me, much less a halfway decent story idea to put out right now in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. What? And she did it twice. And she's got hundreds of reviews proving your story has a market. All you have to do is find the other people who are going to like your story as much as you do. Also, if I'd been in the pitch meeting with Sharknado and someone had said, I want to do a movie about tornadoes, but with sharks, I'd have been like, you know, there's what? There's 5 of them? There's 6 of them? I don't know. Every time I give that story, someone's like, actually, there's more now. It's... No. So your story doesn't suck. You probably feel that way because you've been obsessed with it since you started writing on it. And it's been in your brain ever since. And so you've been like overcomplicating it and just not giving your brain a break from it. So you're probably sick of it more than anything. That doesn't mean that it sucks. How do you push yourself to let someone else look at it? You love the Sharknadoes. Stories are not trash. They need more love. Yes. So the first thing you can do, and what I usually tell my clients, is self-edit. Because if you self-edit, if you say, I'm going to go and fix anything that I don't want someone else to read, or that I don't want someone else to critique, or that I don't want someone else to be critical of, right? You give yourself the chance to fix it, whatever it is. So you go through and you fix whatever the most vile parts of your story you think are in there, because they're probably not that bad. Then you can go with beta readers. You can go with hiring an editor. You can go with a manuscript critique, which means finding an editor who can give you an objective critique of the manuscript itself without editing it. So basically what they do is they do a very careful read through. They give you some commentary. They might point out certain areas like, hey, up here you said this, but down here you said this. So there's kind of a plot hole going on here. What's happening. And they give you like a summary at the end of the strength of the story, how it fits into the book world, things along those lines, so that then you can take that into editing to help strengthen out whatever. I'm allowing people to review my draft right now. I know it's scary. I have found errors as I'm giving it out, but they are there to help you find the errors. That's the other thing too, is an editor, they're not there to be like, well, you suck as a writer. You know what I mean? They're not there to point out all the bad things. They're there because they want your story to succeed almost as much as you do. If your story succeeds, it looks good on them. Hello, Carlos. Do you copyright it before letting people read it? Your work is already covered by copyright. Now, Alex is in Canada, and it's the same thing. Missy in Scotland, I believe it's the same thing, but I'm not 100% positive. But as soon as you start words to page or file, because computers, as soon as you start writing it, your story is covered by copyright. Now, whether or not you want to register that copyright is up to you. It's a very personal decision. I have seen some really questionable advice go out there. Well, I say seen, I mean heard on Clubhouse. So there are certain other coaches who shall remain nameless, but the advice that they have given has been, you can print out your manuscript and then mail it to yourself as like what used to be called the poor man's copyright or whatever. It's invalid. It's so outdated and it's invalid. It doesn't mean that you wrote it. They give this advice because they say that if your work is ever pulled into question and you have this sealed envelope, you can bring the sealed envelope that has a postmark dated on it for when it got sent to you, proving that you sent it at that time. It was a complete draft that you sent it to yourself, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't work. Not going to hold up in court. Doesn't work. And there's never been a single court case won that way. It's just ridiculous. Save yourself the postage. The other outdated old advice I feel is outdated and old and shouldn't be done is go ahead and register your copyright with the Library of Congress. Now, that's only in the US. Canada has a different setup. So Alex has a different method of registering her copyright than we do here in the United States. But basically, you go to copyright.gov and then you follow the links and the prompts, and it's anywhere from $45 to $85, depending on the options that you choose, to file your copyright. What that does when you file your copyright is you are actually just registering it with the Library of Congress, okay? You're already covered by copyright. As soon as you start creating it for free, copywritten, yours. When you register the copyright with the Library of Congress, hit my glasses, with the Library of Congress, what you do is you accept certain other legal options at your disposal, but you also put a copy of whatever you just registered into the Library of Congress. So by doing it before the book has been edited, basically you're paying to put a free copy of your unedited book into the Library of Congress that anyone who's looking for it can find. I personally feel like that would be my personal nightmare, to have an unedited copy of my book sitting out there for free somewhere. I don't like that idea. That's nightmarish to me, and I don't like it. So I would say just wait until it's been edited, then register with the Library of Congress. But technically you can. And this other coach was like, oh yeah, you can do it multiple times. Yes, you can do it multiple times. I don't want that many copies of my book out there. So, and I definitely don't want to pay for that. So there's that. What you want to do is be discerning and choose an editor you really trust. I know that there are horror stories out there about editors stealing works. What I can tell you is that that is so rare. I have heard of one person in 21 years of ghostwriting. I have heard of one person that happened to, from someone I trust. It wasn't even a person I knew. It was just someone I trust. I think it was Kimmy's mom or one of the people in this community who told me, actually, that happened to my mom. And I was like, okay. One person in 21 years. Editors, they don't steal drafts. And most of this stolen work happens after the book is published, not before. So it's just not going to happen. But choose an editor that you trust. Be discerning. And then from there, you don't have to worry about it being stolen. We don't need the name. Because you know the name. I know you know the name. Because you stopped coming into Clubhouse because of him. Once you find your group to help you through the editing, but it's so awesome to share. Nice. It's copyrighted the second you start writing it. Correct. If you wrote it, it is safe. Ish. I mean, it should be safe, but there can still be headaches attached if someone did decide to steal it. It just happens so rarely. I did create a copyright page and a disclaimer page. Good, because you need those anyway. You do need the page. But technically, you need the page because you want to inform people of the copyright, but the page itself isn't what gives you the copyright. Hi, Carlos. As a reminder, they can't sell it nor recreate it. Correct. Well, they're not supposed to. Some people, I suppose, would try to anyway, at which point you could take them to court. So headache, but you would likely win. Theoretically, yes, but I've seen people steal books. And it was you. It was you. I knew it was someone in this community. I thought it was you who told me, actually, it happened to my mom or my aunt or something like that. And I was like, so I retracted my whole, I've never met anyone to, I still haven't met the person, but the story comes from someone I trust. I can't register mine with the Library of Congress. It's way too late. Yeah, because you can only register it up to 3 months after it's been published, I think. I think it's either 30 days or 3 months. File has dates in the preference. I have seen where you can have them sign a disclaimer page, but so far no one wants to sell a book. They just want to read it. Oh, I have 2 copies. Have to send 2 copies to the government. Okay. Hello. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Gush. I'm just going to call you Gush. Hello. Or alphas that chat with you all the time. Thank you. I was wondering how that worked. I've been debating on traditional or self-publishing, so I'm weighing my options. Good morning, Lynn. How are you? It was a tough decision. What does an alpha do again? So alpha readers get your book before it's been edited, basically. Maybe after 1 or 2 rounds of your own self-editing, but before you've hired any editors or done your developmental edit, and they give you feedback. They're looking for structural issues, plot holes, things along those lines. So usually those come from like your pool of writer friends. Beta readers, they're looking for market feedback. They get a completely edited manuscript that has also probably been proofread even. So they're not looking for mistakes or corrections in the book. They're looking for market reaction. So it's, hey, based on this blurb, Here's the book. What would you think? And they help you choose your categories. They help you say that, yes, the blurb set up the expectations correctly, or this is what they expected, and this is how much they love it, and so on and so forth. It's almost like, have you heard of things like they finish the movie production, right? And then they put it into a focus group, and then the focus group says, no, we hate that ending. No. And so then you find out that they have to go and reshoot the ending with a whole different ending because the focus group didn't like it. That's your beta readers. By the time your book hits beta readers, it better be good, basically, because otherwise you're doing a lot more work. Anyway, so they give you the market reaction. And they usually, alpha readers comes from writing, editing, ghostwriting, publishing, whatever, that side of the industry. Beta readers come from the reader side of the industry, the market, the audience. People who read the raw draft first. Yes. Beta readers are people who would be your audience and like a final reviewer. Yes. Does anybody do that here, and does it cost? It does not typically cost. There are some people who do it professionally. But not in this group, I don't think. No one here charges for it. But yeah, there are some people here that do either. Alex, I think, is the biggest one. And usually it's free, but I can't speak for all here. Yes, there are alphas here come December for. Ah, see, Alex. You've done the movie portion. Nice. Need more time to do alpha or beta reading. Yeah, I had to stop offering either one because I was just getting so flooded with requests, and I could never. The last time I took on a request, it was like 4 months. It was like 4 months, and I still barely made it. And it was like the shortest story, and I still barely made it back to her. You read for so much. I'm learning so much literary lingo right now. Yay! Thank you for letting me know. You are so welcome. It's why we do these lives. We want more authors to be successful. Yes. Yes, exactly. And there you go. Contact Alex on December 1st, right after NaNoWriMo. I want to petition the U.S. government to move Thanksgiving to October. Because it just dawned on me that Canada has a huge advantage in November. And that their Thanksgiving is in October. You got 101 words last night. Nice. Good job. I have a 156,000 word goal, and I don't have time. Suckers. Right? How many books is that? Alex, how many books are you working on for NaNoWriMo? Is that just the one, or is that 3? I thought it was 3. I might be wrong. I can't with you. 6 books in November? Never mind. If I don't freak out and back out, my anxiety and ADHD are meanies. Totally get it. What you may want to do, Topaz. What if, hear me out, okay? What if you just sent it to Alex now and then nudged her on December 1st? You could just, that way, It's already out of your hand. You're feeling motivated and you're like, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. Send it before you freak out and chicken out and back out. And then she'll just start on the 1st. We were off. We were so off. Going to faint in the corner now. Dale. F, G, H, I, J, and Y. Well, oh, that's right. Because Y had to go like, Y had to like jump in and just push everyone else out of the way. Back to F today. Nice. I will get all 26 done one day. One day, not in one day. Okay? Being high and working on chapter 1 for part 2 is fun. Forgot how grumpy a character was. So yeah, that totally makes me feel like a lazy writer. But again, got a whole new career got a whole new career, and you are not a lazy writer. I don't believe in lazy anyway. I keep telling my kids that is just a social construct for when someone else wants to make you feel bad for needing extra time before you start something. I don't believe in lazy anyway. But lazy writer, no. And he started a career. No. I'm hoping to finish this one at around 70 to 75,000. 26 books at 26,000. You can't get that done in 24 hours. I didn't think so. Don't try to prove us wrong, okay? Lynn, thank you. You're welcome. Taking me over a year to write my first book. And we got to remember, like, Alex didn't write for like 30 years. Sat down one day and just blah. You're at 51,000 now? Nice. I say blah as in like spat out words, not like just actual blah. I thought it said in one day. I was about to pack up and take lessons from Alex. All right, we're done here. Nice, Dale. This is the greatness of pantsing with no life. In any other context, that would make absolutely no sense. But in a writer's group, that makes complete sense and sounds totally normal. All right, y'all. It needs to go on a shirt, right? Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. If you're doing NaNoWriMo, remember to get up, stretch, breathe, take care of yourself. If you're not doing NaNoWriMo, still get up, breathe, and take care of yourself. Just don't sit back down and start pumping out words. All right? No cup. Go get all the words written. All right? I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.